Now time for our penultimate superheat of the opening round of the 2026 Karting Champions League Winter Series. Time for X30 Senior Superheat B. Here is your starting grid. Victor Louis starts from pole position with Vince van der Haller alongside on the front row. Bran van der Weyken and Matthias van der Kjauwhof round out row number 2. Kevin Bakker and Clément Outron round out row 3, ahead of Arthur Huang and Sam van der Heyden. Pepin Steiger and Aurelio Giustinelli round out the top 10. Raffaele Santocorno and Sam Galuk round out row 6, ahead of Eva Dorrestein and Levi Sanguera rounding out row 7. Roman Saleh and Spencer Allen on row 8. Row 9, Luca Moulin and Senna Meunier. Gauthier San Juan and Noah Mengal round out your top 20, and completing the 24-strong grid will be Bertrand Saxe, Zachary Gernon, Simone Salazzo and Corentin Perrault. So the drivers now are on their official formation lap, making their way through turn 8 and turn 9 as we speak. Air temperature has been quite consistent this morning, 8 degrees centigrade. North-northwesterly wind to the tune of around 9 kilometers an hour. And there's still brightness from the skies up above. The top part of the grandstand just outside of the a la carte brasserie looks to be very, very busy indeed. As Victor Louis and Vince van der Haller will have to control the pace. The red lights are on the starting gantry for our penultimate superheat of this first of 2 rounds of the 2026 Karting Champions League Winter Series. Drivers instructed to slow, and now it's time to get things underway. Revs up, lights on. Lights are out, first time, and a good start by Victor Louis. Kevin Bakker also getting a good start. Vince van der Haller gets a little bit of a touch going into turn 1. We've got 2 spinners at the back of the field, one of which is, that's Levi Sanguera, and that bumper is dragging on the ground. The 2 bolts have come adrift. So straight away, he knows that his race is done and dusted before it's even gone and going. It's a real shame for the Canadian who started on the outside of row number 7 as the field goes down the Europlan for the first time. Quite a few drivers trying to muscle their way in, and the 311 has just gone off, and there's more dramas. 317 is off, and also, 317, Zachary Gernon. So again, just some really, really dramatic moments. And it was the 311 of Spencer Allen for MDL. So straight away, mechanical black flag for Levi Sanguera. And there is Zachary Gernon's cart being pulled away from Marshall. So the Belgian unable to carry on in this race. Gauthier San Juan, I think, might have also had his own drama in the aftermath of what happened. But Victor Louis trying to pull away early. Arthur Huang from VDK Racing now up into P2. Bran van der Weyken now down into 3rd position. Kevin Bakker 4th. Clément Outron up to 5th. Pepin Steiger, who started 9th. As now we're going to see a lot of drivers having a bit of a 2 and 8. Sam van der Heyden ahead of the likes of Aurelio Giustinelli. Eva Dorrestein for Kuna Racing in the 266 now has moved up 2 places, up to 11th, head of Sam Galuk Raffaele Santacono. There's going to be some tries for attempted change of position, as Kevin Bakker has been passed by Clément Outron from Dream Racing. So change for fourth. So Zachary Gurnan out. Levi Sanguera, unfortunately, has to retire with a flailing right side of the rear bumper. Looks like the bolts had been ripped asunder from the chassis, and that was it. It was dragging on the right side, and Sanguera slammed the steering wheel in frustration, knew instantly that the race was done, and he couldn't do anything about it. But Victor Louis leads the way after our third lap of racing. Arthur Wang did put in the fastest lap of the race, but that has gone to Clément Outron, who is closing in on Bouvin Powers, Bran van der Weyken. Outron's bringing Kevin Bakker from victory lane along with him for the ride. Pepin Steiger is not that far adrift either, but yeah, Clément Outron's last lap, 55.316. He's got the possibility of slipstream here down into turn 6 and 7. But then uses his savoir-faire, so to speak, and racecraft in this division. Van der Weyken last year ran as a junior, and now has moved up to the bigger class. But still showing good prowess in the 396. Sven van der Heyden has gone purple, sector 1. Pepin Steiger, sector 2. Sector 3 still purple for that one is our race leader, Victor Louis, as Arthur Wang has just put in the did put in the fastest lap of the race. Now that's gone to Pepin Steiger. Arthur Wang now 6/10 off of Victor Louis. Of course, Arthur ran as a junior X30 driver last year. But when will Clément Outron dive to the inside? He goes now, and the back end starts bunny hopping for the Dream Racing driver representing France. And there is Kevin Bakker waiting in the wings. So is Pepin Steiger in the 227. Vince van der Holle not that far behind. And it looks like that could also bring in Sven van der Heyden, who is about 4 to 6, maybe 10, well, 4 to 8 kart lengths behind Vince van der Holle, who's gone purple sector 1. The gap between Victor Louis and Arthur Wang is closing. Black and white warning flag has been shown to the 2-3-4. Gauthier San Juan from Switzerland, who's all the way down in 22nd position. Simon Solazzo and Quentin Perrault round out the top 20 as Kevin Bakker dives to the inside of Bran van der Weyken. Clément Outron has already got through and has pulled away into the distance. And then Van der Weyken returns the favour, and Kevin Bakker nearly gets caught up in a melee behind. That was very, very lucky, because you had the likes of Bakker's teammate at victory lane, Sven van der Heyden, Vince van der Holle and Pepin Steiger in that battle. So that could give an opportunity to the likes of Aurelio Giustinelli in 10th and Matthias van der Kerkhoff in 9th. So if they keep on battling away, then those two will catch. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Black and white warning flag being shown on the DG flag once again to the 2-3-4 of San Juan. But this battle here is really heating up. A quartet of drivers being led now by Vince van der Holle. Sven van der Heyden now up into 7th. Pepin Steiger now 8th. And with them, there is Matthias van der Kerkhoff, I believe. Let's just have a look. Well, there's Kevin Bakker. There's Matthias van der Kerkhoff. And Aurelio Giustinelli in the 287. Still nearly the best part of one half of the race left to go, but Victor Louis is continuing to lead, and he has gone over 2 tenths quicker than Arthur Wang and expanded the lead that he has to just over 9 tenths of a second. Meantime, Matthias van der Kerkhoff has got through on teammate Kevin Bakker. So that is a change for 8th position, and Giustinelli dives to the inside of the 255 from the Netherlands gets through. So Kevin Bakker is going to have to watch his 6 in a very short while again, because there is under braking Team Corner's Ava Dodderstein in the 266. Bertrand Sachs is about a second away. So whilst people have been battling, others behind have started to close on in and make good their intentions here in the second superheat. After this, once all the decisions have been ratified and confirmed, then the top 36 drivers will head into the Senior X30 A final at around about 20 past 2 this afternoon. The remaining drivers will then be able to compete in the B final, as we have over 46 drivers, which means that we have enough drivers for a B final later on today. Eight minutes down, 1/3 of the race still to go. 4 minutes plus an additional lap left on the timer. And Matthias van der Kerkhoff has now got the fastest lap of the race, a 55.019. Aurelio Giustinelli, who is behind him, has just gone purple sector 1, personal best sector 2. Victor Louis still has the fastest middle sector of anybody with a 16.3 dead on the nose. Van der Kerkhoff has the fastest final sector of the race, but Victor Louis is starting to pull away from Arthur Huang, and the gap has now expanded to 1.5 seconds. Clément Outran, looking at his lap times, slightly quicker than Arthur Huang, but not able to get into that 1.6 second deficit that he has. But a nice little sweeping move there by Aurelio Giustinelli, and that was on Pepin Steiger. As we have got the two teammates from Bouvin Power line astern. Bran van der Weyken ahead of teammate Vince van der Halle, and they have got Sam van der Heyden, Matthias van der Kerkhoff all over them at the minute. Aurelio Giustinelli's the first driver to dip underneath the 55-second barrier this race, 54.984, as we have just over 2.5 minutes plus an additional lap on the timing to go. And there goes Bran van der Weyken on the inside at turn 1 on Vince van der Halle. Then there's a queue of carts just behind. Sam van der Heyden, Matthias van der Kerkhoff, Aurelio Giustinelli and Pepin Steiger. And this is going to be an epic battle. Well, to the inside, Pepin Steiger dives through on Aurelio Giustinelli at turn 6 onto the first part of the chicane at the end of the Europolon. Coming up to the final 2 minutes plus an additional lap. And Victor Louis is starting to extend his lead. Now it's 2.4 seconds. It's a further 1.1 seconds as the two Bouvin Power teammates start to fight. Van der Weyken through and Van der Halle. And Sam van der Heyden is waiting in the wings. Behind a victory lane teammate, Matthias van der Kerkhoff, as all the two teammates come together. Oh, that's caused a big drama. Vince van der Halle, 2 wheels on the grass, down the back straight, and he loses positions. He's lost 3 on the bounce. They both inadvertently clattered into each other going through turn 5. And then that opened the door for Van der Kerkhoff, Van der Heyden, Steiger and Bakker, and that was a bit of a naughty little shove there by Van der Halle on Kevin Bakker going through into turn 10. Van der Halle trying to get the over-under coming out of the final corner. It's nearly 3 wide. As Bertrand Saxa is with them. And Saxa is now making this very, very racy indeed, as Kevin Bakker has no alternative but to use the runoff area there. And that has put another kart through, possibly the likes of either Raffaele Santocono or Norman Gal. So Bran van der Weyken just trying to hold on at the minute, as we haven't got that long left to go in the race. Clément Outran trying to close in on Arthur Huang for P2. Next time around, it will be the last lap, and don't tell me that there's going to be more into teammate battles between Van der Kerkhoff and Van der Heyden. As that was Utrecht through on Arthur Huang. That was like a hot knife through cold butter by the French driver from Dream Racing, Clément Utrecht, now in P2. Final lap is very much underway. Victor Louis is way up the road in the number 216 from RSD Karting. He is 3 seconds clear and climbing. Meantime, it is Van der Kerkhoff battling away with Bran van der Weken. Zen van der Heyden battling away with Pepin Steiger. And these are 4 positions. But our race leader is going to make it through. It was quite an interesting one with an RSD Karting victory in 1 superheat. We've done it again. Victor Louis is victorious here in Superheat B. Clément Utrecht, what a great drive from the Dream Racing ace from France. Finishing ahead of VDK Racing's Arthur Huang as more drivers come across the line, some nearly 2, some nearly 3 wide, but Victor Louis takes the victory in the 216 by 2.15 seconds. Ahead of Clément Utrecht, Arthur Huang rounds out your top 3, followed by Bran van der Weken, Matthias van der Kerkhoff, Sem van der Heyden, Pepin Steiger. Good work by Bertrand Saxe to make up 13 places to finish in P8. Ahead of Aurelio Giustinelli and Raffaele Santocorno, the 2 RST Karting drivers rounding out your top 10. Corner Racing's David Dorrestein finished 11th, ahead of Vince van der Holle, Senna Meunier, Kevin Bakker, Luca Moulin, Romain Soleil, Sam Galuk and Noah Mengal. Simon Salazzo and Spencer Allen, who had a drama coming off of the entry point into turn 8, midway point of the race, ran out your top 20. Gauthier San Juan and Corentin Perrault complete the 22 runners and riders. Levi Sanguera out with a drift rear bumper, and Zachary Gernon out before the race for him even gotten started. But Victor Louis victorious in Superheat B for Senior X30.